Put yourself into this picture, and you too could be sitting in prison, convicted of a crime you did not commit. You voluntarily provide a DNA sample, a mouth swab. This specific swab collects saliva from which your DNA is extracted. The officer taking the swab was a novice. In fact, he actually had to read the directions on the package while he was taking the sample. That's not a picture of confidence, is it? The sample goes to the Michigan State Police Lab, the exact same lab where DNA samples from convicted murderers and murder victims are tested and logged into a national database. The lab supervisor, you learn later, has been forced to retire for having someone else take a medical procedure certification test for him. On top of this grievous act, you learn that the lab technician in attendance when your DNA swab was in the lab was fired for testing her own husband's underwear without permission. Your confidence in the system drops another notch. As a coincidence, the lab is asked to conduct a DNA analysis for a specific cold case on a pair of pantyhose of a murder victim killed in 1969. The victim's DNA could not be found on the pantyhose she was wearing, although she was wearing them for some period of time and menstruating at the time of her murder. Her DNA did not survive the 30-plus years since the murder, the same time that a dozen other murders were committed in the same area. But now, the lab runs a search of the database and finds the DNA from your saliva on the pantyhose. Not semen, not urine, not a fiber, not a single hair, not blood, but your saliva. The Michigan State Police now shows up knocking on your door. They ask you a number of confusing questions. Questions you have no idea what they are talking about. Finally, they tell you that you are a suspect in a murder that happened 35 years earlier. Only now you hear the name of the victim. Who, you ask? You have never heard of the person. So, you ask the police, "Why do you think I did it?" The reply, "We have your DNA on her pantyhose from the crime scene." What, you say? How can my DNA be involved? I've never met this person. You are arrested, tried, and wrongly convicted of a crime you did not commit on a person you did not know or have never met even 35 years ago. Friends, if this can happen to Gary Leiterman, it can happen to you. Gary, who is married, the father of 2 adopted children, and a proud grandfather, now sits in a Michigan prison on a conviction of convenience. He begs all of us to use every effort possible to make sure a wrongful conviction does not happen to any other innocent individual. How is your comfort level with your legal system now?